Thank you, Dietmar, for your kind introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, time is short. I immediately start with a positive message. So we are surrounded by potential. So the construction industry is huge, and according to the statistic, at least from a global perspective, we will almost double the construction volume in the next almost 8 years, to 14.4 trillion US dollars. And probably at the moment, not just probably, but at the moment in Germany, in Europe, we see some crisis, some stagnation. However, the challenges we have are present each and every day. The missing affordable housings, you all know about this number of 400,000 that we want to build in Germany at least, and we are stagnating somewhere around 250. Infrastructure, there's a huge lack of investments. The first bridge you have seen already collapsed now in Germany, where at least we as Germans would not have expected to happen. And last not least, the energetic refurbishment is so important, so the challenges are here. However, having said that we want to almost double the construction volume, we need to significantly increase productivity. And the way we were doing construction work in the past, and even an incremental improvement will not solve the big challenges I have talked about. What we need is a huge step to the next level. So how can that be? I have brought some possible ways. Digitalization, we are all on the way of digital transformation, but go out to the construction sites. Whenever I'm visiting our subsidiaries, I'm going to construction sites and to customers, and there is still a lot of room for improvement on the construction sites when looking to other industries. Another way to improve efficiency, especially when it comes to housing, is the modular buildings. I mean, look at Goldbeck, look at Max Bögel, look at Gropius, for example, as an upcoming company. They have changed the way, industrialized the way we can construct in the future. Serial renovations, there are possibilities to change the complete envelope of the building for energetic refurbishment within just a day. And robotics, here I will come back to that point now in my further presentation, and also the combination with AI and Internet of Things. Sustainability for sure to be mentioned for the sake of completeness. Now, other industries have shown us since decades how you can use robotics to increase efficiency. However, what is important when to use robotics, and I come back in the next slide. The prerequisite to really use robotics, the prerequisite is that you have a proper planning, that you have consistent data, that you have one single source of truth, and not these discontinuities in your workflow. You work on models, then you print something out, and it's disconnected, then you type things in again, and there are changes and things like that, and very often not the latest state of the planning is on the construction site. So what we offer as our company as well, we have opened an engineering office on demand. We can do this planning, even scanning, to get a proper BIM model when there's no reliable data available. And we can go this way together with you and also the simulation. Now showing a solution for our robot. And here, this is the little one. We have a certain use case defined before we started to set up this robot. And one of the applications is tunneling, and I show you a short video on that as well. But be aware, this type of robot is not the solution to solve all your requirements or all your challenges on site. This can be used on repetitive work when you have a huge hole density. And imagine for bridge refurbishments, tunnel refurbishments, we're talking thousands, even 10,000s of boreholes. And the good thing here is this machine drills as precise the first borehole until the very end. But let's have a short look on that. Let's go together in the tunnel, and then we see this is the Engelberg tunnel, which is close to Stuttgart. You can see here how the robot was transported while the tunnel is still in operation. And it's prepared to start the drilling. Now you see here a total station, and for us from the very beginning it was important to have a robot that can operate completely autonomous. So there are some legal requirements that an operator needs to be present in case that you need to adjust some things or something could happen. This is something you could, at least in theory, cover by sensors and things like that. But most of the time those operators are really watching Netflix or whatever, but from a legal perspective they need to stay there in the tunnel. What you can see here is, or probably how did we come to that? We did not develop that from scratch. That would have been too cost intensive and too time consuming. So we were screening startups globally, and we found a startup in Austria, in Vienna, which we acquired, and this is the company Baubot. And what is also important, that we keep that startup running as a startup within the Fischer group of companies, so that the startup mentality can be continuously running. That also means that each and every next robot that is delivered to a customer or to one of our subsidiaries is already an improvement on the last one. So probably some small series are developed, but then all our experience already comes in the development of the next one. I like this picture, as this shows how the efficiency would look like if a human being would do the drilling. All the sketches on the ground were done and changed because there were some rebar hits. All the red ones that you can see were wrong drilling, rebar hits, and it was not allowed to drill through the rebar. So from that perspective, that shows how efficient that can be. Last point on that. What is really important that you be let's say smart and you have your exact use cases where you use your robot, but this is one example how we can increase efficiency. I'm completely convinced the future is digital, and I can just all of you animate to shape the future together in the digital world. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Oliver. Yeah, still would have 1 minute.
Yeah.
But you would be gentle to Pavlina.
Appreciate
thank you so much. We have already a couple of questions, but we keep them for later, for the end, because we have a small discussion about all the topics. But you showed very good that on the example of the drill robot, we have use cases where we can use automation and robots to increase the efficiency on construction sites and the quality. So this will drive us for the next couple of minutes as well. Mm-hmm. And so we come to you, Pavlina. The title of your presentation is Embracing Digitalization, Centralizing Data to Transform the Construction Industry. That you will explain a little bit what you mean with that, what you want to achieve with the right use of data.
Correct.
Please.
Correct. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today. My name is Pavlina. I'm Architecture, Engineering, and Construction Practice Lead, or AEC Practice Lead for Ignite. I've been in the construction technology world for the last 8 years, and I worked for companies like Nemetschek, Magicat, and now I'm with Ignite. So what we do at Ignite, Ignite is a file server in the cloud. Imagine solutions like Dropbox and Box, but with the intent to serve the AEC industry specifically. So we have more than 4,000 customers in that space, and we are confident that we understand their points, and we work with them very closely to solve their problems. And the difference between us and Dropbox and Box as well is that since the beginning, the founders decided to build an enterprise solution in the cloud, which means they've been thinking about secure collaboration, cybersecurity, AI and machine learning since the beginning. And since we have a rough overview on the data usage from our customers, we did the research last year on how much their data has grown in the last 5 years. And what we found was that their data has grown 8 times in the last 5 years. And we see multiple trends on why this is happening. And one of them is that the emerging technologies that we have, the multiple point solutions that are used in the industry, but also processes now are very data intensive. So we have the reality capture technologies, we have drone footages, we have robots as well on the construction sites. We have massive BIM federated models that we use. And the risk that comes with that is that if we don't manage our data properly, if we don't have it in a one single source of truth or centralized data, then first of all, we cannot make the most of the technologies that we are implementing. But second, we have risks like data leakage, like data sprawl, and things like that. And I'll talk a bit more about data in the next couple of slides, but let's go through some of the main technologies that are transforming the construction industry at the moment. One of them is the well-known BIM, right? So BIM, there are many benefits of using BIM on a project, and one of them is this centralized information that we can easily exchange and collaborate on. We speak on the same language with the architects, engineers, and construction, and it's very important for us to have this centralized data in the BIM model so that we can use it for the next steps and for the maintenance afterwards once the project is finished. We talk a lot about digital twins as well, right? So there is a difference between BIM and digital twin. So the main difference is that the digital twin is the virtual model of a physical asset or a building, but the difference is that there is a live connection between the cyber model and the real asset. And that data help us to analyze the performance of the asset or the building, which helps us to improve sustainability, carbon footprint, etc. There are many benefits of having a proper digital twin, which might be a 3D model, but it can be any sort of data set. It doesn't need to be a BIM model behind the digital twin. And the technology that we talk about a lot recently is AI, right? It is a buzzword, and it is wildly used in any industry, not only in the construction industry. And we see many applications of AI and machine learning on the construction side, but also behind the scenes and in the offices, and the way we understand the data that we receive from the construction sites. We have information like reality capture that compares with the BIM model or the digital twin model and help us predict any delays and help us better manage our construction schedules, our schedules for materials, deliveries, and things like that. But when we talk about the data, there are key components that we need to take into account. One is that we need to centralize it again, because if we have the data sprawled in multiple repositories, it's hard for AI or any technology to gather really insightful information if you don't have it in one place and in one standard format as well. And a big thing is the quality of the data. And this quote comes from a Microsoft champion, actually, and basically what he says is that if we have bad data, no matter what sort of technology we use, we'll still get bad results. And we like to say rubbish in, rubbish out, right? So we are all data managers nowadays. We all have data, and we are all responsible to keeping it up to date and up to the standardized processes that we have agreed within the company, or in many occasions by the government as well. So another analogy is with Lego. Most of you yesterday had to put together Lego pieces and build a model, right? So imagine if you didn't have the instructions on how to build this model yesterday. You may have ended up with the end result at some point, right? You have the picture of what you have to build, but you don't have the instructions and the steps how to do so. So it's similar with AI. If it doesn't have a standardization and proper instructions on what you're expecting from it, you never get the results that you want, or you may get them, but you go through a very long and painful path to get there. So make sure that your data is ready if you want to embrace AI, if you want to implement it. But also, the good news and the irony here is that AI can help us prepare for AI. So there are technologies out there that can help us analyze the data that we already have. AI can help us structure our data, classify our data, scan the environment that we have, and let us know where do we have, let's say, GDPR information. You'll be surprised where people are keeping like passport information and payroll information. So imagine if you implement a Copilot solution without setting up permissions on who have access, or you didn't check what's in your data, then people may start asking questions about the CEO salary, for instance, and the Copilot may reply if you don't have the permissions set in advance. A few use cases that we see in how AI is used within the construction industry when it comes to data management. So Copilot solutions allow us to analyze data from previous projects. So for instance, you can inquire like, how much did it cost me to build that building, or how much was the concrete that I used to build that bridge, for instance. You can inquire any information based only on your project. The key thing here is that AI will reply only based on your internal company information. It will not hallucinate going out on the internet and answering the question just to please you. Copilot solutions are usually based on your company data. So again, it is important to prepare your data for the usage of those technologies. And smart tagging is something that we see a lot. So with smart tagging and metadata that we use in these solutions, you can now use your data based on what it is, but not where it is. What does that mean is that, for instance, when we upload pictures from the construction site, the AI can suggest, for instance, oh, I see that this is an excavation picture or an excavation machinery. Should I upload it in this folder or in this project? And things like that. Documents like building specifications, we know how long and tedious these documents are, like they can be 500 pages, etc. So smart solutions can summarize these documents for you and tell you whatever you want to know, but also can drop them down to sub-industries and things like that. And few trends that we see, so AI, machine learning, LLM, they will keep changing our industry, and we'll see more of those implemented in our industry. And the data will keep growing, so the stats that I showed at the beginning, this curve will keep growing because we keep using different technologies and we keep using more and more data. So it will become even more important to keep our project data secure and to sort our data beforehand, but also keep working on it, because it's not a one-time thing to centralize our data, but we have to keep working on the quality of the data that we use. And then to summarize, I think it's not an overstatement to say that technologies and AI are changing our industry. So we should not just leverage them, we should embrace them. And doing so, we make sure that our companies are competitive on the market and we attract this new tech-savvy generation to work in our industry because we do need that. So yeah, embrace technology.
Thank you, Pavlina, for these insights. So I think we understand all that it's very important to refer to your slide with the shit in, shit out. So you get only good results if you have good input, and that's why we have the theme BIM2Machine, or models to machine, digital data to machine. So if you want to increase the efficiency on machines, we need to have proper data prepared, and with the help of automatism, artificial intelligence, we will have the opportunity to do this on the fly. And one thing that I have also to remind everybody, in the future, we talk about digital twins. Why do we need digital twins? So we call it, in my previous company, we call it also smart digital reality. So you put data into the field, you make something with the machine, but more important is the as-built situation. So the machine should also recognize, okay, what have I done? And create a feedback loop and notify the previous instances, the databases, the cloud database, what has been done, what is the real status, and then you get a small digital twin. So a smart digital twin is a real digital twin that combines the scan data, the as-built data with the digital model, how it was planned. So you can compare that as planned, as built, Yeah. So that's summary from my side. We have a couple of questions here. I would just place one. Maybe that's for you, Oliver. What challenges are there when implementing BIM2Machine in existing construction projects?
Well, as I talked about, that we need really reliable and consistent data. The biggest challenge is for sure to have these reliable data. And what I didn't mention in my presentation, if you think that an operator with such a machine is on site and each and every step needs to be released on a tablet, then this is a nice toy for grown boys, but this is far away from efficient. So what we need is the proper planning, and there we still struggle to have this proper data. And for sure then we need to optimize. We had, for example, some races, human beings towards machines, and at the very beginning the people were highly motivated. They were drilling fast, and even faster, 3 guys compared to the machine, even faster than the machine. And then we had to optimize the pressure the machine drills and the way the machine moves from one position to the next. At the end, it turned out that the drilling holes of the people were on the wrong place. I mean, they were faster, but they drilled on the wrong place. So, to come back to your question, reliable, proper planning is the absolute key, and there we still struggle to get those data.
Okay, thank you. One question that came into my mind. So you both were talking about artificial intelligence, and of course I need to press you both. There are a lot of fears in the market. Everyone talks about artificial intelligence, and if you see the robots like the robots taking over the world, killing the man and the rest of the world, that's some kind of picture that comes into our mind. Artificial intelligence. What does that mean? Why do we need to have? Why don't we have to be afraid? How can we overcome the fears? Pavlina.
Yeah, well, so there is one very good say on that front, because many people are worried that AI will take their jobs, right? but AI will not take your job, not at least in the near future, but someone who is using it and embracing it and is more productive using technologies, they will take your job. So it might not sound very positive, however, it's a message to say we have to stay on top of the game and on top of what is happening and run on the same pace as technology evolves.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes you have the picture like the transformer, they take over the whole world and ruling the world, but I can tell you, and we have in our advisory board an expert also on artificial intelligence. The machines are still so far away from being really intelligent. But what really helps is, and you described it as a co-pilot, really to support us to be much more efficient, to avoid mistakes in the planning phase, to do several simulations in parallel, to avoid mistakes on the construction side, to have much earlier even a kind of perceiving already errors that might occur if you continue like working as you are doing. So observing you, supporting you, and therefore we call it co-pilot. What we did to reduce this fear in our company, we trained all our people, all our almost 5,000 people we have globally. We trained on how to use, we set up a toolbox, how they can use this artificial intelligence. It's called like that, but the term is a bit misleading.
So I want also to push a little bit on that. So artificial intelligence, how long are we doing artificial intelligence? If we want to use that word, I think it's misused.
Absolutely. I mean, now with ChatGPT coming out, then we were talking, oh, now we have the real artificial intelligence. But be it BIM, be it integrated planning, be it, I mean, different terms we had in the past. Probably, I mean, you're longer in the industry already. I would say at least the last 15, 20 years, we are using certain types of artificial intelligence already. We just named it different. Similar to BIM, I mean, once we started then with the terminology BIM, then we said, oh, now we're doing real BIM. And then people were saying, okay, what your vision behind or your definition, we already did that several years and even decades before.
I absolutely agree. So AI solutions and machine learning have been used for the last 15 years or so in many software solutions that we use on the day-to-day basis. It's been the last 2-3 years when they released ChatGPT and Midjourney and other similar solutions to the general public when we had to start talking about using them. For instance, our company never positioned themselves as an AI solution, but they've been using it for many years. But now we feel that we have to talk about it because we've been using it and everybody's talking about it. But it's not a new technology, it's just that recently have been released for everyone to use it.
So we just hit the 30 minutes now. Thank you for your insights, for your answers, and for you to listening to us. There's still a couple of questions. We will just answer them and put them in the chat later on. Thank you so much, and I'll just hand over to the next one.
A pleasure.
Thank you.